Today is Tuesday, Parashat Vayakhel-Pikudei. Actually, this Shabbat we're going to be reading two Parashiyot, Vayakhel and Pikudei. And then in the second Sefer Torah, we're going to be reading from Parashat HaChodesh. But we're learning here the Chok Leisrael. We explain the Psukim in Ketuvim, and this is from the book of Mishlei. Kavod la'ish shevet meriv, v'chol evil yitgala. This pasuk means that it's an honor for a person to refrain from quarreling, from conflict. There are sometimes situations where a person is tempted to get into a quarrel, into a conflict. If a person refrains himself, that will be a great honor for him. So that's why it says, Kavod la'ish, it's honor for the person, shevet meriv, who refrains from quarreling. V'chol evil yitgala. But every foolish person that will be tempted to get involved into a quarrel, into a conflict, into a discord, such a person, itgala, his shame will be exposed eventually. In other words, he will not gain from it in the long run. The honor is for the person who knows how to refrain from quarreling. Next pasuk, mechoref atzel lo yacharosh, v'sha'al bakatzir va'ayin. So the plain meaning of this pasuk is in the winter, a person who's lazy in the winter, lo yacharosh, he's not going to plow, he's not going to work his field. And then what will happen at the time of bakatzir, the time of the harvest, he's going to be begging for support or begging, and he will not find. And it's basically, if you invest in work in the winter, you'll be able to gain harvest in the summer. And Rashi here goes into a little bit, actually some of the Farshim go into another explanation also in this pasuk, meaning that if a person that does not learn when he's young, when he gets older, and it's more difficult to absorb what is being learned or to remember what is being taught, then he will not be able to find it. So the advice here, when he speaks about winter and summer, the advice of our sages is also, when you're young, try to invest as much time as possible in learning so that you'll be able to have it already there in your mind when you get older. But always, there's no excuse not to learn at any age. A person should continue learning Torah at every age until his last day, but the advice of the sages here from you're young. But the plain meaning of the pasuk is just in the winter when it's time to plow the fields and to sow the seeds and to plant, do it so that you'll find when it's summertime. Because if you don't, then the consequences will be that in the summer you won't find what to have. Maim amukim etza belev ish ve'ish tevuna yidlena. So the pasuk says, Maim amukim, it's like deep waters. It's a counsel in the heart of a person. The ish tevuna, and a person who's of understanding will draw it out. And it's referring to actually also a wise person can have a lot of wisdom in his heart, which is like deep water in his heart, in the heart of the person. Could be halachot, it could be certain understanding. And a student, a pupil who's understanding can draw it out from him through these questions. You have a wise person, ask questions, inquire, and you'll be able, like drawing waters that are deep in a well, you'll be able to gain wisdom and understanding from that wise person. If you ask questions and if you inquire and you want to learn, then you will be able to gain the knowledge and the wisdom just like pulling and drawing water out of a well. Rav Adam Yikra Ish Chasdo, the Ish Emoni Miyimtza. So it says here, many people will call on those who promise kindnesses. Many times people promise you all sorts of promises and kindness, and in time of need, you'll go and ask for their help, for the kindness. However, Ish Emunim, but a trustworthy person, Miyimtza can find. In other words, people might make promises that they may not keep, but those who really keep their promises and are there for you in time of need, those may be far and few in between, just because just the nature of people, it's easy to just promise. Question is whether people will come through on his commitment or not. And Mishlei, which was written by King Solomon, has a pearls of wisdom here, but it tells you also what is often the situation in real life, not in the ideal, but what you find in terms of society. So promises are easy. Question is whether they're kept or not. Next pasuk, mithalech betumo tzaddik, ashrei banav aharav. A person who walks with integrity, with honesty, such a person is a tzaddik, is a righteous person. Ashrei banav acharav, and fortunate are his children after him. And what does he mean here? It means also that as a person acts in with the honesty and integrity, his children, of course, will learn from those good qualities, and they will continue in that way. And also, the children will benefit from the zchut, from the merit of their parents, who the zchut of their parents will continue to benefit the children. And Ashrei banav acharav, fortunate is children after him. But people also will praise them and will be able to benefit from the way that their parents acted in terms of integrity and honesty and righteousness. And this was the Ketubim from Chok Leisrael for today, Tuesday, Parashat Vayakhel. Baruch Adonai le'olam, Amen ve'amen.